Back in the ocean because they're not letting it go into the reservoirs yet that we know of. San Diego, there it is. Now San Diego, remember it was over there in what we call today Old Town. He landed in Old Town. He goes, you know, folks, your city's in the wrong place. It's over there. Why should it should be down there? You see where the tall buildings are? Why not build it there? Learn the red flame or coral tree. The coral tree from Africa. Those trees here on the right in the parkway, those are paperbark melaleuca trees. They're from Australia, New Zealand. More bags after you wait in security. You know what TSA, since luck American. There's one of the terminals over there on the left, the airport. You open this gate here on the right, and then the jet will taxi across the street over to this gate, and then it goes to the airport. It's the only other place in the world in Japan here. It's some steel, very big round. They're in a whole bunch of places around town, some artists. There's a lot of the local art here along the harbor. And you look over there, looks like Holland, America. Tell us that's the something marvelous random. They have a Holland, a Dutch captain. I've been on that ship. Okay, fine. You know, they stop here, load up folks, and then go down to the Mexican Riviera. California's finding lobster. The season is over right now, so the traps are sitting there. The Inspiration Horn Blower is 1,000 across the street on the left. That's our county administration building, and they filmed it in the movie or the TV show Hawaii Five-0. Just briefly, you'll see a quick shot of that building, and it looks kind of like Hawaii. Okay, as we slow down up here, we're going to see our Maritime Museum. There's a lot of boats here, and I'm going to talk the Medea. It served in patrolling the English Channel in World War II. It helped evacuate folks from the soldiers from Dunkirk. There's an old ferry boat that used to operate in the San Francisco Bay region. It helped and then down below is a bookstore and a very nice maritime store there. If you saw that movie, that's the prop ship from that movie. You can go on board there. You can go on all these boats. You pay a buy a ticket, and you can go on and see all these boats. You can walk around where Russell Crowe walked. You can go over and try to lift up the cannon. It's not too hard because it's made of fiberglass. You see, it's a prop. They also filmed, well actually the movie Master and Commander was filmed about 60 miles south in Baja California in an area called Rosa. Behind the HMS Surprise is number 39, a Russian or Soviet submarine. And then here it was built in 1863 on Ramsey, Isle of Man. Made 21 trips around the world, mostly taking immigrants to New Zealand and Australia. Cannonballs and things like that, but it never made it into the war, so it ended up being a sailing ship, and they have different names. And these will be auctioned off at the end of the year, and so you can buy one of these for $10,000 or more. and put it in your front yard. You know, so. The Holland America has the Stotendam, the Oosterdam, the Who Gives a Dam. There's a whole Alaska. So the Rhindam will take a 10-day trip down to Port Boats. There's a lot of different cruises that can be taken by tourists or even local. Going up to the left, there's the downtown. Now the Midway was built in 1945. Didn't make it into World War II, but of course was named after the famous Battle of Midway that turned. There's a lot of aircraft on there that served on the Midway. It saw a lot of action in Vietnam. It helped evacuate Saigon. It worked in the Apollo Space Atlantic. And then in 1991, it was in Desert Storm, and then it was decommissioned in 1992, brought here almost 5 years ago, and has surpassed. Now up here and there's a statue of it there. So we're going to pull up here, and if you want to get out and take a picture, and then just beyond. The Marriott Hotel, that big glass building there, you were staying at the Marriott Hotel because it's the Marriott Hotel's marina. They filmed the sleazy bar scene from the movie Top Gun in 1985 with Tom Cruise. That's that little restaurant right there with the red. And off to the right is our baseball stadium. That's Petco Park. That's where the same up here in April. Petco Park is named after a dog and cat supply park. The largest crowd was back about 4 years ago. The Rolling Stones played there. 45,000 people showed up to see the Rolling Stones. On the right you can see our red track trolley. That's services, like I mentioned earlier. It goes all the way to the border of Mexico. It goes into our East County. So see the convention center there on the left, and as we make our right turn here on 5th, this is called the Historic Past. There's lots of saloons. There was a guy named Wyatt Earp lived down here. This is where you're going to find him, right here on the corner of 5th and Market. There's a guest. We have the Croce's restaurant, which is in the 1890 Keating building, and people worry about that we used to drive our cars onto, and we would go across the harbor, you'd ride across, and then the bridge was built, and that was the end of the San Diego on the right, and the shipyards on the left. And of course, Mexico. San Diego is port for 70 ships. And I see one of the very... There it is. And then we have a ship they're working on right below us. It's a floated... Okay, not really. We don't want to do that. It's too scary. Yeah, no, that's all right. There's Point Loma, the lighthouse. That's where we were earlier, looking back over here. Here it says suicide counseling. Call this free 1-800 number. The only problem is they didn't leave a phone there. The bridge was built in 1969. Coronado, and what makes the city famous is there at about 12:30, 1 o'clock now. That is the historic Hotel del Coronado, the red roofed Victoria. The hotel opened in 1888, and we're going to go over there and take a look at it. We paid the bridge off, and so we don't have to pay anymore.